Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about my experience with the DJI Mic that I'm wearing, and it's what I use to film all of my photography videos. I am a photographer. I do a lot of videos out in the field, photographing the landscape and vlogging my journey as a photographer. And I see a lot of photographers and fellow creators using the DJI mics, and my experience has been very positive, but there is one problem and one issue that I have encountered with this microphone that I think is just so frustrating, especially because of how much these microphones cost. Now, I'm not going to do a full review of this microphone because I think there are tons of great videos by great creators doing the in-depth analysis of all the specs that you need to know for the DJI Mic, but I haven't encountered many videos, or any videos really, that have kind of documented the specific issue that I have found. And it's something that you probably won't come up against until you've maybe used this for quite a while. For the longest time, I guess the industry standard for anyone wanting better audio on video was using some of the Rode video mics. There were some wireless lavalier mics like this one that everybody was using. But when DJI brought out these wireless lavalier mics, or wireless microphones, whatever you want to call them, I saw a lot of fellow photographers that I follow on YouTube, especially in the landscape photography space, all transitioning over to this mic. So when I was looking to try and up the audio quality on my channel, this was one that I definitely wanted to check out. And I am definitely really happy with the DJI Mic. I think a lot of its features are definitely going to outweigh any of the negatives. I will talk a little bit about how I use this mic and why I've enjoyed using it. But there is just one specific issue that I only recently encountered, but it's one of the things that maybe would have stopped me from buying it, or may have made me reconsider how I use this microphone had I have known about this issue when I was making this purchase. So one of the main benefits of these microphones is that you can record all of your audio internally inside the transmitter. Now, I think that is absolutely great. I love the fact that you can have something that you can just input into your computer that gives you the raw audio for you to then use in post, to add some extra level of quality and production to that audio. It's not attached to the video file, although you can do that by plugging in the receiver into the camera, but having that backup option, I think, is really valuable, especially if you're out in the field and you're doing a big vlog. There's nothing worse than coming back to the computer and finding that you don't have usable audio. But unfortunately, that is one of the issues that I have encountered with this particular microphone. But stay tuned because all is not lost. So I was recently filming a vlog and I was doing all of my pieces to camera, and I got home and I was syncing up my audio files with my video files, and everything synced up absolutely fine. I was reviewing the clip and everything was perfectly in time. There was no synchronicity issues until I got to a certain point, and it was completely random. And I've had this issue happen 3 times, and there seems to be no rhyme or reason as to when the particular glitch will occur. But basically what happened is I got to a certain point, and then for whatever reason there was a skip in the audio file, a glitch almost. And then everything that happened past that basically made the audio out of sync with the video. So it's not an issue with audio drift. It's not the fact that the audio and the video slowly drift apart in their synchronicity. It's more of a hard cut where, for whatever reason, the microphone just seemingly cuts out and then starts recording again. And this only happens over the space of maybe a few milliseconds, but it's enough to throw everything completely out of sync. And I think for something that costs as much money as the DJI mics do, that's a less than ideal thing to have happen. So I was scrolling around on the DJI forums, and I found a few people, more than a few people, posting things on the forum relating to this issue. So I'm by no means the only person that is having this problem. And hopefully, because a lot of people have posted about it, hopefully DJI will look into that and will maybe update some firmware to mitigate this and solve it moving forward, because they definitely should. There shouldn't really be any issues with audio in terms of the raw audio being recorded into the transmitter. But it is frustrating when you're editing a video, because I had to basically detach the audio from the video, and I had to find the point in the audio file where the glitch happened, and I had to cut to that point, and then I had to cut the video to that point and then resync it. And no matter which way you do it, you're always going to potentially lose out on frames. And if that occurs midway through a word or through a sentence, you know, you might lose that entire passage of speech or of audio. But I did some more delving into forums, and I did a little bit of testing my side, and I think found the root cause of this problem, and I've sort of found a way to try and resolve it, which I will go into now. But I would love to hear down in the comments below if you've experienced the same issue with the DJI mics. So the way that I use the DJI mic is that I always use the built-in internal recording feature, and within each of the transmitters there is a set capacity for internal storage in terms of how much of those internal recordings can be saved onto the transmitter at any one time. Now that's absolutely great, because there's tons and tons of hours. I think it's over 15 hours of storage for each transmitter. And if you're a little bit lazy, like me sometimes, who isn't going to necessarily format that transmitter before each use, because hey, you know, I've got 15 hours of storage, I don't need to be formatting and clearing my transmitter before every shoot. And especially because I'm doing this every week, sometimes it can be a couple of weeks before I format it. I've never got it to a point where I've completely filled the transmitter, but I've definitely used up to, I would say, coming up to 5 hours of internal storage on one of my transmitters. And it seems like the issue occurs when you're using a certain amount of that internal storage. Whether it's an issue with the transmitter not being able to handle that amount of data, I'm not too sure. But I have found that once I've formatted my transmitter, the next time that I use it, and I've been using one of my transmitters for a good couple of hours of audio since then, and I haven't had the issue occur again. So I think if you are experiencing this, a good idea would be to format your transmitter after every shoot. I always back up all of my audio onto my external SSD, so my hard drive has all of my audio, so I'm just not necessarily clearing it off of the actual transmitter. So I would definitely just make sure that you back up all of your files after every shoot, but more importantly, just do that and then always format your transmitter, and hopefully the issue won't present itself. Like I mentioned, I've used this for a good couple of months now, and I'm really happy with this package as a whole. I absolutely love the design. I love the audio quality. I, yes, have to do a little bit of work in post to get the audio sounding as crisp and full as I would like to. But on the whole, I think they're absolutely great. This isn't by any means a dig at DJI, and it's not necessarily a sort of complaint that I have with the company as a whole. It's just this one little issue with one of these little products, but I think it can definitely be a bit of a headache. And if you're using this for anything commercial where, you know, you're actually being paid money to create content using this product, then it's just something that I want you to be aware of. So like I said, if you have had this issue and you found another workaround that I haven't mentioned, then leave it in the comments just in case anybody else is watching this video that might be scratching their heads as to how they can fix it. It'd be great to hear from you down in the comments below. If you found the video helpful, do also give it a thumbs up and subscribe and ring the bell if you enjoy videos that are all about photography, especially landscape photography, because that's what we're all about here on this channel. So thanks for watching. I know this is a bit of a departure from my usual content. I don't like to typically do too much in the way of gear reviews, but as I have seen a lot of creators in this space using the DJI mics, I thought it was important to share my experience. So thank you so much for watching. Normal service will resume next week as I have a couple of good trips planned out with the camera, so I'll be able to take you out into the landscape and do some more vlogging. And until then, keep taking photos, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you all soon.